Welcome to another episode of More Than Dice. I'm Gonzo.
I'm John.
I'm Nerd.
And welcome to episode 267. We are going to be talking about RPGs, some Gencon news, some Gencon stuff, and hopefully that music wasn't too loud for people. I did test it out. I didn't think it was too loud, but it could be my headphones. So if it is too loud, let us know. But we do have a new music. We decided to change up the music a little bit and do some cool stuff with that. And we're also changing up a few other things, but y'all just have to wait. Before we get to the podcast, let's go ahead and get to the business. We want to thank Midnight Heroes for sponsoring us and providing all the cool things. Don't forget they do awesome chibi stuff. Their Kickstarter just finished. I'm sure they're fulfilling that pretty soon. They will be at ReaperCon, and then they will be at Warfare Weekend, where they're going to have some special new discounts and a new model at Warfare Weekend. Hopefully I can show that off pretty soon. They're waiting for the physical version of it. So
I'm looking forward to the model.
Oh, yeah. I've got the model. I got the sketches. I got the look of it. Got the colored sketches. That just hasn't been 3D done yet. So it's looking pretty sharp. We want to thank Parabellum War Games. Guys, make sure that if you're going to buy anything from Parabellum, make sure you go and use our affiliate link. We get a small kickback from that, and we just give it away as a gift certificate whenever it comes in, unless somebody wants something type stuff. But if you like regimental rank and flank type stuff with really awesome miniatures, go check them out. We want to thank Muson Minis for hosting us and putting us out there. Make sure you check out there. They've got a few new products coming out, and you can find some new cool things. We want to thank Creature Caster. Woo woo! They have a big thing. Judgment with all their cool new models coming for that, and then of course the basic Creature Caster models and their paint line Cuttlefish colors, which I'll be using some of that tonight because I'll be working on one of my Judgment models. One of Mizzy's favorite, Ancora, with his. I wanted to work on his pussy body. So I'm going to make
say that every model you use is probably not one of Aunt Mizzy's favorites, to be honest.
It is probably not. Especially Ancora. He's a pain in the butt. But
Does he shoot the skulls?
Do what?
Does he shoot the skulls?
No, it's not the one that shoots the skulls. Ancora drops a bell.
Most.
Oh yeah,
I know that much.
Oh yeah, that's a shell. A shell shoots the flaming skulls. Banion, if you're going to be doing a raffle, each raffle is 100 dice heads. So unless you got 200,000 points, you're not going to get raffle 200.
Okay. He's going to do math now.
Yeah.
It's a math challenge.
Each raffle ticket is 100 points. Is 100 points. So figure out how many points you get, and you can put it all in there. What else? Who did I get? Everybody? Creature Caster.
So.
Also check out their tribe because you can get it's like a Patreon where you can get what is it? A certain amount of minis and a 5th edition module that comes out with it.
Oh, cool. Sort of like what is that company? Steamforged. They do similar Epic Encounters, I think it's called.
Yeah, sort of things.
You get everything there.
Banion, if you have 20,000 points, you can get 200 tickets.
And he does, and it's not working.
I wonder if you have to put brackets around it or something. I'll have to look at the widget and how it's supposed to do.
No, it's raffle space 200.
So.
Space 200. Yeah, that'd be a negative, sir. It's not working.
I wonder why.
Nope. So rough.
That's weird.
Well,
Yay, tech issues.
Nope. Negatory.
We borked it.
Man.
Oh, well, speaking of spending those.
That's weird. I'll have to fix that out. But let's go ahead and get some other stuff. Let's get everything else out of the way. I'll stop it and restart it and see how that goes. But did I get everybody? I think I got everybody.
I believe you got everyone, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Also, like, if you guys look at the Cuttlefish colors and you're curious how one looks, you can ask one of us.
Yes.
Me or Gonzo. We have
Yeah.
the sets willing to test them out. I know Nerd's got a bunch as well. We
Mhm.
can test them out to see how they look for you, because it's designed for a specific style of painting that we don't all use necessarily. And I found some of them like, oh, this is great for what I'm doing. Some I'm like, okay, this doesn't work as well for what I'm doing, but I'm trying to use it in out of position basically. So, I mean, the blue I got worked great on Loki. Helped me fix up his ice effects and looked much more icy now. A little too blue before, so I was pleased with that.
Here's a fun question. What's your favorite cuttlefish color?
I'm liking the red right now.
Right now,
Which one?
Kevin.
Kevin? Kevin. Do
It's,
you know? I told you
it's
the
just a
story behind
good
and why
brown that
was
no one
named
else
Kevin,
has.
right?
Yeah, you were telling me on the Pass the Paint Water, which is a plug to be a patron and get that too. But yeah, like it's just a good brown that no one else has exactly that brown. It's just like, oh, I need this brown. It's like I want a base coat brown. It's a great base coat for anything that's not going to be too dark of a brown too.
Yeah, it's a great wood color, wood-based
Yeah.
color.
Leather, even you can use it as the base for leather, and then rather than having to worry about washing it down and making sure you get it there, you can just highlight it up from there. That's the one I've used. Maybe not the most because that light blue I have to find. It's on my desk somewhere. It's probably not that one. There's one ice bluish that like I used in Loki that was great because it basically took a model I thought was done and like, the ice is okay, and it just wow.
My favorite is Lush Green. Is the Lush Valley Green is probably the one I use the most. Oh yeah, Ice Dragon Blue.
Let's go, Ice Dragon Blue.
The red glaze, I
I've
can't
been
remember what
trying
it is.
when I can just to try and see how they do. We've also both said the metallics. Enjoyed those so far.
That's what I have a full set of, are the metallics. That's what I picked up at Adepticon because I love his metallic line.
Let me know how your golds work. For what I was using them for over black and or gold, they weren't working, but I'm not going to blame the color yet. It could have been operator error, probably, because of me.
I did have, it takes a couple of coats, but yes, I did notice that when I was working on my Captain Hook, when I was doing the gold on like his sword and stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it just takes a couple extra coats.
Because I used a scale
it's
75, and it like the first coat went on very rich, and the second coat was much more yellowish. And I'm like, the actual fuck is going on here? So like both of Beta Ray Bill's boots looked a little different.
Huh.
So I backed up and put it using a very old GW paint that I don't think they make anymore.
I'm gonna try something here. I know it's not. Oh wait, I don't have enough. I have enough points for a ticket, but I'm gonna try something and see.
Raffle should be working now, so put in.
Looks like it's working.
Nope. Okay.
No.
There's a command that sometimes worked with. If you just put max, it'll just use up your max.
Go ahead and try it again, Vania. I don't want to try it myself because I actually don't want to win the raffle. I'd like you guys to win the raffle. No, 200 is too much. You'd want 20 or 50. I think you can go 50. You said you 52K. Nope, still too much.
See, I just did it for myself, and I was able to give myself a ticket.
Yeah, Bana, need to do less than
You
that.
won't give me a ticket either.
It's still
Because
100 ticket because math.
I know. I have 110 points.
Oh yeah, why doesn't yours work?
I don't know.
Hold on.
Like, it should have given me a ticket.
Let me see if there. Oh, there it goes. John Spencer, Banyan. It came in. Banyan's got 20. John Spencer's got 1.
Why yours didn't work though? She should only get one ticket.
Maybe there's a cooldown.
It could be lag.
Oh, it could be cooldown. Yeah, good call on cooldown.
Who knows?
Technology is our friend.
Yeah, could be, and it also could be Twitch. We had that problem at the pre-ramble, so
Yeah.
just keep an eye on it. Could be Streamlab also.
I don't understand.
Nerd, are you following?
Yeah. Of course. That's how I had like 1,000+ points to make John show us a transformer.
Oh, that's right. You did pay that.
And the last time you were streaming, I made you wear ears, even though nobody could see you.
Yeah. I sent the max to like 200 tickets. I don't know why. We'll have to do. Let me see. Setting. Dun, 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 dun. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. History. Oh well, it's working. Just don't know what's going on with it.
Yep. Anyways,
Just
It
take
doesn't like me. I don't
important
like
questions.
it either.
It could be because you're a mod.
No, I'm not.
No, you're a mod, John.
I'll
No, John's a mod too. So, well, let's get back to the business of the podcast as we work it out new shit because we're giving away stuff. Do we have any shout outs this week?
I mean,
Oh,
I'm
yeah, we
sure
do.
things came across, but
Yeah, we
I
do.
didn't. Oh,
Pee Wee Herman.
oh yeah, PB Herman shit.
and
I
Sinead
filed-
O'Connor.
No,
Or
we got
that
it
was last
that was
week.
last week.
Yes,
I
but
wasn't
yes,
there. I didn't know.
I know it was. But yeah, Pee Wee Herman, who I mean,
Paul Rubens. Yep.
apparently the nicest guy in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Everyone's story is like he was super cool to me, and remembered me, and it's you don't see that all the time.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was somebody was talking about everything that happened with him and stuff, and I was like, well, you've got like so many things that happened. The Pee Wee's Playhouse, and then all the movies, and then the controversy about a theater, and then it kind of like wrecked him.
One thing, and everyone's like, Pee Wee Herman, grr, and I'm like, one thing. Can people not make one mistake? Granted, that's a hell of a mistake, but can people not make one mistake? They can. Forgiveness.
Yeah, just get over it.
Because Pee Wee's Playhouse.
And he didn't do it again.
No, exactly. Pee Wee's.
Mark Margolis.
Who's Mark?
Mizzy
not gonna-
just put Mark Margolis in the.
the actor
chat.
from Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad.
Oh, that's right.
Thank you. I'm like, I knew there was a second actor.
As soon as she said it and I looked it up, I saw the picture as it was starting to load. I'm like, okay, I haven't seen Breaking Bad, but I saw this guy.
Yeah,
Same.
yeah. I think everybody
He's
has
been
seen him in
in-
some form of.
A ton of stuff. Holy shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what's Tango with Terry?
Pay for it and find out. Oh,
Somebody just did.
oh, who did it? Banyan paid for it. You're just curious what it is. Look, here's Terry. Now I'm gonna tango. I need to get a rose, but that's about it.
He's Terry the Triceratops.
Yep.
I
Like Perry the
remember, I
Platypus?
think I was watching, because I wasn't on one week, and this like literally came up as I was watching, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
I got to get a rose, but other than that, it's tango with Terry.
Fair.
Better if you get a rose that has a Velcro bit in the center so it can stick to Terry's mouth as well.
The rose is going in my mouth. Fuck that. I'm taking the rose.
Both mouths, because you can have it in Terry's mouth, and you can take it out because you actually are a human being, not a stuffy.
What if I want to be a stuffy?
I mean, you could identify as a stuffy if you want. I've seen weirder things on Twitch.
Yep, and now it's getting laggy again. Of course.
Yeah, it is the. By the way, if you're watching us on Twitch right now, it is the Dallas server that is having issues from Twitch.
We are
Not
technically
us.
blaming Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
We are brave.
There are like 4 million people streaming Baldur's Gate 3.
Accurate.
Yeah, I checked up the Twitch issue, and you can check the Twitch servers, and Dallas is having issues right now, and that's who we go. That's where we go through.
Mark Margolis, an actor, been in a ton of things from Scarface to Breaking Bad. It's a ton. You have probably seen him in a movie or TV show.
Oh yeah.
Am I gonna lose my nerd credit for never having seen Scarface?
No, I haven't
No.
seen Scarface either.
Okay.
But it's coming through on one of those Fathom events here in a month or two. So
Oh,
you
okay.
can see it first time in the theater.
I will have to contact my older brother because that's his favorite movie.
Also, if anyone cares, it's also showing Enter the Dragon, which, shock of shocks.
Never
John would be
seen.
like,
I've never
oh, my
never seen a. Why can't I think of his name? I've never seen a Bruce Lee movie either.
shit, Enter the Dragon's next Sunday.
I think I started watching it and ended up having to like leave for work or something, so I only saw like the first 15 minutes.
Yeah. Actually, for everyone's notes, it's actually next Sunday and then the following Wednesday, Enter the Dragon in the theater. So, Gonzo, slight chance might be late next Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Because it's 4 p.m. showing. I should be back in time, but there's a chance that everything goes to hell and I don't. Scarface is in November.
Let's see. Let's go to the really big news. Nerd, what are you drinking tonight?
I am back with some of the Screwball peanut butter whiskey.
Okay.
I have it. I like it. I didn't feel like I didn't have anything to mix with strawberry rum, so I went with peanut butter. I could have mixed the two, but I wasn't sure how whiskey and rum would taste together.
I would advise against.
Yeah.
John?
Especially because of the extra flavors on those.
Well,
I'll
it's
start
because
off with...
the strawberry and peanut butter would have given it that like peanut butter and jelly sandwich kind of a thing, but I don't think the fact that it was strawberry rum would help.
I feel like if you do that, you have to add Guinness to be the bread. You're welcome.
It's so bad. Oh God, it makes my stomach hurt.
John, what are you drinking?
Well, I'm gonna start off with a shot of your Maker's Mark. Well, it's my Maker's Mark, but it's your favorite Maker's Mark. And then I'm following up. I've got a Code Fireball to drink afterwards.
To celebrate nerds new joining, I am drinking a little bit of Sortilege. I have a little bit of Sortilege.
So he's taunting.
Yeah, I am taunting everybody. Sortilege, and you should be able to get it up where you're at because you're closer to the border than I am. It is maple syrup whiskey.
Well, it's a maple liqueur that has whiskey in it.
Yes, it's a maple liqueur that has whiskey.
To be technical.
Yeah,
it's really good. It's fun.
It's super good. So if you like maple syrup,
once you drink it, you can never again go to like I'm gonna have what's it called, the maple Crown Royale.
Nah.
Fuck. You're like, this is trash. Get this the fuck out of here.
Okay, are either of you familiar with the atrocity that is Malort?
Oh yeah, fuck it.
I had a friend try that for the first time.
Yeah,
and he's like, it doesn't go away. It just stays in your mouth.
Yes.
The flavor just lasts.
Yeah. Every commercial for Malort, it is a spot on based on what my friends have said. So yeah, well, technically Gonzo was supposed to try it in at Adepticon, but he did not. So I'm disappointed.
I refuse because I know better than to try Malort.
Let's be honest.
Originally from near Chicago, I know about Malort.
I know about Malort. I'd still try it once. Just say, yes, I tried it. It has never been as bad as someone says. It's like watching Cats. Yes, I watched it once. It can fuck off forever. I don't need to see it ever again.
I saw that in the movie version of Malort. I saw that with a couple of my friends. His wife and I had seen Cats on stage when we were younger, so we at least knew what we were getting into. He had no idea.
I had two other friends decide they were going to do it. Like, John, you can't leave bros hanging. I'm like, like, we'll pay for it. Like, and we'll buy you lunch after. It's like, all right, fine. So I went. I didn't pay for it. And I got lunch, and I'm still not sure it's worth it. If anyone ever cares, you can go look up in the archives on the internet of Movie Emergency Cats. We recorded in the restaurant after we watched it, talked about watching it. So, yeah.
Nope. Guys, we're going to do the same thing. If you see something, say something. If you can do something, do something. If you can't, find someone that will. What was the other one that you had in there, John?
If you can hear something, say something.
Yeah.
Don't let those people just fucking talk shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be safe. Look after each other. If we don't see you at Warfare Weekend, look for us. I'll be doing streaming on Tuesday night. Nerd will be on Friday. Got the podcast on Sunday. You can join the Discord and you can hang out with me there because I like to play video games and talk with people I'm playing video games. And you can watch all the really, really, really weird shit happening in Baldur's Gate 3. There's a reason why we have to set certain settings if we stream it. But I can tell you all the cool things because there's some weird shit going on in that game. Cheers.
Cheers.
Holy shit, that's good.
I'll be honest, Maker's Mark is extra disappointing when I know you're drinking Sortilege.
See, I bet that would be really good mixed with the maple root beer that Sprecher's makes.
I just like it plain. It's just good enough to do plain.
It's super drinkable.
Oh, I'm sure it is, but I'm saying I bet it would also be really good with maple root beer.
Fair.
I'm not
Some
gonna.
of the other liquor stores have that because I haven't had Spreckers in a while. Usually I get the root beer, but actually the one of the breweries I went to in Wisconsin, I think it's Riverside Brewery, when I went to Gencon a couple years ago, had, like, I'm not a big beer drinker, but I tried beer everywhere. But they had a really good root beer that was made with maple syrup. It was like really fucking tasty.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, there is something going on with Twitch
Yep,
right now.
we're freezing a lot, so sorry about that.
Oh,
Everyone,
yep, bitrate's in the red again.
Yeah, see, my bit rate's out is 27.
Damn you, Dallas. And I mean Dallas, the city, not Dallas, the AMG employee.
Yeah, it's reading at 24 or 2400 right now. KBS.
Yeah, there's something going on. Not sure, but we're recording so people can listen to this later. Yeah,
Yep.
the last 6.5 minutes.
Yay. It's unstable. Just like me.
The good thing is you occasionally get some really good faces from us when it pauses.
Yeah.
There's I'm reporting issues while we're doing this, by the way, so they can see what's going on. With Twitch Inspector, because they're saying, you have bad upload and download. I'm like, no, I don't.
Bullshit.
Because everything else is fine. It's going to Twitch.
Yep.
So we'll have to wait and see.
I'm not gigabit internet. I know it's not me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say it's been unstable for the last 7 minutes. And our video and everything on our OBS is fine. I can see John and Nerd, no problem. We're having no issues. So it's something around in Twitch area. So video is not going to do good.
Anyways, let us talk about
role-playing games?
RPGs?
Oh, actually, let's get to the Gencon news real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to the quick
Stuff.
news.
Good stuff's coming out.
Yeah, a lot of stuff is coming out.
Thanks, John. That's so helpful.
More stuff is coming out.
I think one of the bigger ones is the fact that they're putting out a new core set for Marvel Crisis Protocol.
Yep.
It's $50 more. It's $150, but it's got a little more terrain and more models in it. And very interestingly, all the models have all the rules of the game. So you've got someone with minions, you've got someone who transforms. They put a lot of the rules in the game so that this core stuff has that, which is a great idea. And they're all new versions of the characters, all new sculpts of the characters. So veteran players can buy it as well.
Yeah, I heard we're now on the third Steve Rogers.
Third Captain America,
Spider-
yep.
Yep.
Third Steve Rogers. Captain America, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the only third Red Skull, technically. Because there's Red Skull Master of Hydra, Red Skull from the core set, and then this Red Skull. Second Doc Ock, second... everyone else second, because it's all the same guy. Second Ultron and everything. So it's really cool. Then they announced a bunch of other models coming out. You may or may not be interested in. They showed good pictures of Nightcrawler and Bishop and Iceman and Kitty Pryde. And then Venom, the Gwen Stacy Spider-Woman with the Venom symbiote, and then also Scarlet Spider, which made Bowie very, very, very happy because he loves Scarlet Spider. Also, you can see they released a lot of the cards for the guys from the core set because they had it there. People were testing it, so you can easily find those on the internet, see what they do. A lot more leaders in that box set for interesting stuff. So I mean, the AMG news is all pretty cool. I don't know that they announced anything beyond that, really. I didn't hear anything for Shatterpoint, though I don't really look. It's pretty new, and reviews are fine. Not like blowing it up, but not like, oh, this is crap. And honestly, I don't hear X-Wing or any of the other game news. Legion's been very quiet as well because they're kind of focusing on Shatterpoint.
Yeah.
Like the Marvel Crisis Protocol stuff is the only one of the few things they put out since Shatterpoint came out.
So I've heard of a lot of different versions of Shatterpoint. Is it the same kind of base, or is...
I don't think it is. I think Shatterpoint's just the one game. I don't know of a second Shatterpoint.
I swear there was a Warhammer Shatterpoint at some point.
I don't think so.
No, this is
something similarly named. Hold on. I'm going to look this up while you guys are talking. Go ahead.
Yeah. Privateer Press did release a bunch of stuff. They released 2 new starter armies. Their first 80 mil Warjack for Magnus. Their tables are all 3D terrain tables, by the way, which were really good. And then what else? There were some other things. There were some other companies that released some new models. I didn't see a lot of good RPG news. I noticed we were releasing like some, not core books,
I've
but
seen
expansion
a bunch
books.
of RPG news, but nothing like...
Oh, wow. Type stuff.
Nothing like super buzz.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's fine, but like nothing that really penetrated to the point where it was like, oh, look at the buzz on this.
Yeah.
I mean, lots of stuff. I mean, honestly, it looks more like Gen Con. People were just there having fun. There was a lot of, celebrities in the gaming industry and all there, and people were having fun. It looks like it was a good time, not necessarily here's all the newest releases in the universe.
Yeah.
Like, yes, GW may have announced something. I didn't really see it. But, I mean, GW's in the middle of a new edition rollout, so there's going to be lots of releases.
Yeah.
Which I did read the rules for recently, honestly. All, 11 pages.
What else? I mean, there was a decent amount of stuff that came out, but nothing that just made me go, wow. I want the models, but I'm not going to pay for it. But Kingdom Death models, they had a lot of new Kingdom Death models, and I was like, those models looked so cool.
Yeah.
I will never buy it. But I was like, if I was super rich, I would buy it and then pay someone to paint it all. That way I could play with it because they were just so cool. They were some really big, cool models. But I didn't see anything really awesome to come out for, Gen Con this year.
But I think that sort of fits with the way the gaming industry is right now. Yep. They're not holding releases of that with us coming out of COVID. They're throwing stuff out there as it comes out, not like, oh, we're going to hold for Gen Con. No, we're going to throw it out now so we make our money.
Yeah.
In fact, the only other big news I heard was that people found out that WotC had one of the artists doing something for one of their future books was using AI art. So they're like, oh no, we're not going to allow this. We're going to work with that artist and get this shit fixed. I mean, which is pretty much what you have to do nowadays, because until they regulate AI art to the point where they can know that it's not just fucking stealing, they need to self-regulate. And then I appreciate that they are, They didn't just let it go and not say anything and said, oh, we weren't aware of this. We're going to talk to the artist. We'll work this shit out. I appreciate that from a company. Because WotC's not had the best press since Pinkertons, let's be honest. Fucking Pinkertons. Ay. I know the new Disney card game thing. I thought it had released, but apparently they just had a big release at Gen Con.
Where they lost $300,000 worth of cards, I believe.
Was it them that lost it? Yeah, I heard. You told me that they lost it, but I saw some people opening packs. Looks like an interesting game. So the artwork's great.
Yep.
I got no qualms with people having the Disney card game. I know people would, but that's how you get the kids in. You got to start young. That sounds terrible when you say it that way.
No, there was one of the things that happened was supposedly someone sold $300,000 worth of cards before Gen Con started up. So whenever they were doing stuff, someone put it on a pallet jack and took it out of the convention.
That's what they said. They joke about it in movies and stuff. Just walk in like you own the place.
Mm-hmm.
It fucking works a lot of places.
Oh, yeah.
So in that convention center, when they're having stuff going on, hotels, when there's a convention going on, it fucking works. I could tell you stories.
Warhammer Shadespire.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, Shadespire. Okay.
That's, I was Scatterpoint was for some reason sticking in my head.
So that's a Warhammer
Shadespire.
Underworlds one, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's one. Okay, yeah. Warhammer Underworlds is cool. It's a board game. They put out so many cool sets for it. Like, I literally buy sets occasionally for it. I haven't played it in a while, but just cool models.
Yeah, somebody was gonna have me paint them, but then that didn't happen. But that's okay. I was trying to remember because I knew it was a board game.
Yes, it is literally a board game.
Yeah, it's a 2-player board game. Anyway,
let's see. Gencon,
you guys were saying about Gencon.
They announced Warhammer announced Harrow Deep, which is another Warhammer Underworlds.
Okay.
Cool models. Looks like it's of course Stormcast, and then looks like Hobgoblin-y dudes. New kill teams. No surprise there. Some more Blood Bowl stuff. Just rolling through here. Is this from this year? I think so. Just pretty standard. Nothing crazy here. They didn't throw any big releases here.
No.
Maybe that.
I've considered getting into Blood Bowl just so I can get the Grebo Games Cutimals sets.
Christ, this isn't even
from the UK.
Where you can have. Yeah. That was not recent news.
I
don't know why it came up first.
Probably the most read one.
Yeah. Let me just hold on. It needs me to turn off my ad blocker for me to see this. Fine. No ad blocker on this page. Hey, I can go through this and just see what it says. Jesus Christ, I want ad blocker because you get to me ads. All right, let's see. Starfinder Second Edition from Paizo. The Welcome to Night Vale RPG, which I assume is horror related. It's from Renegade Game Studios, which does.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Welcome to Night Vale RPG. It's going to use the same system as the G.I. Joe, Transformers, My Little Pony, and Power Rangers game.
Okay.
Which Gonzo and I can tell you about if you'd like, because Gonzo has the Power Rangers one, I have the G.I. Joe and Transformers one.
I own the Transformers one also.
Yeah.
Cool. Because I love Welcome to Night Vale.
Excellent. That's good news. And we're doing more. I'm gonna try and find. Yeah, there's just not a ton of news here. I don't see a lot of GW news from there. Like I said, which is not surprising. They've just released the most recent edition, so they're just putting stuff out for it.
Nice.
Like I said, it doesn't feel like a lot of buzz on a lot of things from there.
No.
I'm glad I brought that up for you, because actually I remember seeing that come through a Renegade Games email that came in. And I'm like, oh, cool. I don't know what that is. As far as I'm concerned, I mean, they also they have the G.I. Joe and basically all the Hasbro licenses for role-playing games and board games. So if you like that stuff, I love the G.I. Joe deck building game. It is super fun, cooperative. It's great.
That makes me miss my old X-Files deck building game from back in the 90s.
Wow, you're going old school.
Yeah, well, it came out at the same time as one of the Magic lines and the Star Wars card game at the time, so it bombed.
So, Nerd, you don't know. I managed game stores and then owned a game store through 2000.
Okay.
So I'm very familiar with the X-Files game. It bombed because there was a glut of card games, not just the ones you mentioned. Those
were the ones I knew of at the time.
So many people just vomiting card games out, trying to get something to stick. And there was some play in my local area, but not a ton. You'd be surprised what hit in my area besides Magic. Highlander card game.
Did you guys also carry the Marvel comic book cards that were collectible in the early 90s?
No. It was because early 90s is a little early for me, but we did do the Star Wars card game. Myself and Bowie, who's occasionally in the chat room, Banyan, we played the hell out of that. It was a good game until it wasn't.
I was an avid collector of the art cards back in the day. My brother collected baseball cards. I had my Marvel comic cards.
I've done both. I sold sports cards as well, because the first store I worked at was sports cards and gaming cards.
Nice.
At a funny story because my buddy who was a Marine would sell cards, just mail order. And one night I'm helping him open packs for something to get singles. He's like, "Hey, if I opened a game store, would you come work for me?" "Yeah, of course I'd come work for you, man." That was like a Saturday. That Monday, he's like, "Hey, you want to come work for me?" I'm like, I have to give 2 weeks notice. But for a couple of years there, I managed a game store, card game store, and trading and sports card store, and then got off work about 5 p.m. I would drive down to the next city down and run the Magic card desk at the comic shop with a buddy of mine.
Nice.
Well, we better get to role playing games, or we're gonna spend the whole podcast talking about not role playing games. Aside from Welcome to Night.
What? Us get distracted? That would never happen.
It's on brand.
Squirrel?
Yeah. Hey, squirrel.
So this week, one of the most anticipated games in a while dropped, which is Baldur's Gate 3. And they did a huge, pre-stuff for it to get people to play. And I've been playing it. I know Nerd's been playing it. It is causing a lot of good sales and a lot of good people. And a lot of people are very excited about it because it's a single player game. Although we did learn the co-op version is a little buggy and you can't kick people out. It's, hey, we get together, we're all playing the co-op. And we're all playing the co-op.
Yep, and if somebody leaves, you pick up their character and have to control all of them.
Yes. So it's not like a co-op like I jump into John's game and then I leave John's game and then John gets all his NPCs back. No, you can't kick him out of the party.
Yep, because we tried for good half hour to do that?
Yeah.
So you would say if someone wants to play cooperative, you do a separate save, so to speak, for co-op and then a separate playthrough for the solo.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And
actually, it would be good to go, hey, us 4 people, let's get together and play co-op. And you just only play, whenever you get all 4 of y'all together, you play just that co-op group type thing. So I'm going to say that I played Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. I played a little Divinity, so I know that. This game is legit fucking badass. My big complaints about it is you're limited to a party of 4, which I'm like, I wish I had 5th. With that, a 5th person, that we could make my party a little bit more diverse. I could have, something else in there. But you can only have 4 players, you and then 3 other NPCs. It is not realistic in the D&D terms because every time my character jumps successfully, my entire party jumps successfully over pits. And we know that never happens in a role-playing game.
Accurate.
Type thing. And I was laughing at that because I was like, oh, my character that, is I play a bard, just going to jump over this chasm to get to the other side. And then my full plate mill character jumps over and can do it no problem. I'm like, what the heck?
So if you successfully stealthed, is the rest of your party successfully stealthed?
It depends if they're in the same area and they're in the same spot. That's going to be the kicker. And then, what else? The story's been really good. The character interaction is really good. I'm enjoying all the NPC dialogue. I'm enjoying getting to know the characters and getting to do stuff. And you get to make plenty of things. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're playing this game has a lot of mature themes in it.
A lot.
A lot of mature themes. You can have everybody naked, genitalia show. There's sex scenes. There's other sex scenes. So there's a lot of adult to this. You can turn it all off. So you can get rid of it so you don't have to see it and stuff. But combat's really fun. It's your standard, turn-based, whatever, move it around, getting things done. The characters are very unique to each other. So it's not like if I choose the warlock or the wizard, they're the same, just, different spells. The characters are pretty good and different. And you can kill off the NPCs. You can kill off your NPCs if you want to. Right off the bat.
You can. Yes,
and completely take them out of the story.
Done.
The things they did add into the game, which I think is good, is you can actually recruit NPCs that are like generic NPCs in the game. There's an option to do that, and there's an option to respec and multi-class.
Multi-classing, yes.
So there's that. It's been kind of fun. I'm enjoying it. I think it's an amazing game. This thing is awesome. I don't care what anybody says. This game is beyond belief great.
I haven't heard anything bad aside from it's buggy as heck occasionally.
The one bug that I run into is that the UI will disappear sometimes, and the only way that you can get out of it is by saving the game and then going back in. But there's at times when the game, you have to save the game and then reload it, reload the save. This game, it doesn't auto save enough in my opinion, because you could lose like 20 minutes of gameplay because it doesn't have the auto save doesn't save enough.
So save early and often.
Yes. So you got to do that quite often. What else?
Character customization is top
Oh
notch.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That I'm having no issue with. I mean, it's been a lot of fun. I've been doing the biggest problem I have is there's so much fucking stuff to do. I mean,
it's not a problem.
No, for the most part it's not. But I'm just like, fucking hey, I gotta go here. I'm exploring here. I'm here. Oh shit, I have this quest I need to get started on.
Having a lot of gameplay in it sounds good compared to the other game I'm considering picking up, which is the most recent Ratchet and Clank, which is on PC. Fucking thankfully.
What?
Yeah, it's on PC.
Which one is that one?
I love the Ratchet and Clank.
Whatever the name was, Ratchet and Clank.
Oh yeah, played that on. Yeah, I got that on PlayStation.
It's a little buggy, so I'm waiting a little bit, but still, Ratchet and Clank. I used to buy PlayStations for Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, yeah.
I used to rent Ratchet and Clank so that I could play it.
I might have to get a controller so I can play Ratchet and Clank. It's been a long time.
Been a while.
You had to use a controller in a while. All my games are keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
But I mean, Baldur's Gate's on my list, but I don't know if I'll get to it. We're getting crazy, so we'll see.
I'm curious now if I can run Baldur's Gate on my Steam Deck.
I don't know if it'll
Baldur's Gate 3?
Probably not.
I don't know.
If you can find the old Baldur's Gates, maybe. I love Baldur's Gate 1. Baldur's Gate 2 was decent. It didn't hit the same way. I don't know why. Just didn't quite feel the same. But it's got Minsk, and I mean,
Baldur's Gate 3 has Minsk.
Banyan says, quick fix for the UI disappear. Quick save with F5, then quick load with F8.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. You can play Baldur's Gate 3 on the Steam Deck.
Nice.
There's some Twitch.
Once I fix the joystick on my Steam Deck, I will do that.
I'm always surprised that you can play on that. People play MechWarrior Online on that, and I'm like, how? I'm impressed. So, no, that's cool. I'm glad that it's out and it's good. Seemed like a thing that they should have Baldur's Gate 3 years ago because, I mean...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Baldur's 3 years ago. Just because, I mean, Baldur's Gate 2 came out when? That was early in my fucking marriage.
I think my first boyfriend after high school was playing Baldur's Gate 2.
September 21st, 2000 was Baldur's Gate 2.
I graduated 2000.
Baldur's Gate 2 is old enough to drink and change.
Yeah.
That's when you're like, did you take advantage? I know they've had games since then, but, people loved some of the side characters in there. Like I was telling you beforehand, talking about killing NPCs. In Baldur's Gate 1, Dritz was in it for a second, and my ex-wife spent all the time killing him, but had to kill him and not lose Minsk and not lose Imoen because she wasn't going to play the game without those two NPCs.
Fair.
That tells you a game did it right. I always felt like those were better than, I played Icewind Dale. Wasn't as good.
I tried Dark Alliance, and it was just...
very different, I felt. It was too different from playing... Icewind Dale was supposed to be the same sort of game. It just didn't feel the same because you made up your whole party. It sounds crazy, but having the random NPCs come into your party and you have to be like, oh, which NPCs do I choose? That feels much more like an interesting gameplay mechanic to me.
Yeah.
Though, I mean, honestly, multiplayering it and having you guys choose all the characters also seems pretty cool.
That'll be fun once we get like a full party together.
I mean, I bet Mizzy has it. I'm gonna just take a wild guess that Mizzy has it. So I guess that means it's all eyes looking at John to get it.
Yeah, John.
Yeah, John.
I'm the renegade. I'm the wild card, bitches.
Black sheep.
You hit the black sheep. There you go. Okay. I said that to my buddy Marshall. We're having lunch yesterday. And I'm like, I've been reevaluating what games I'm going to play or not play to see if I have a good reason to not play it or if I'm just being a contrary asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can be like that. Like, because like, why aren't you playing 40K with us? You've got models. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Am I just being a contrary asshole? I guess I am.
John,
So I'm trying to look at that a little more.
Do you have a little bit of oppositional defiance?
I do. When I went in the military because it would not have went well. Like, I feel like now I would function fine in the military aside from the fact I'm almost fucking 50. Like, mentally I'd function fine. Physically, I would be dead. Let's bury John. He's dead. When I was young, oh, fuck no. Holy shit, young John was like, authority, fuck authority! Now John's more logically fuck authority. I'm gonna fuck authority, but I'm not gonna let them know fuck authority. I'm gonna malicious compliance. Sorry. Off topic, slightly.
What? We never do that.
You know I've been drinking, so it happens.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Man, that was good.
What else we talking about?
We're going to talk about.
Derailed everything.
Because we were also talking about just role playing a game in general. Because Nerd has a bunch of RPGs that you do on your own channel.
A ton of D&D. I'm jealous.
A ton.
She's just like playing shit.
I run a weekly game. I play in 2 other weekly games. I'm probably, because I joined you guys, I might have to drop out of my monthly game.
Oh,
but
no.
that's not the end of the world. Well, they moved it from like Friday to Saturday to Sunday, and I'm like, what? Just quit moving the day that we play, it'll be fine. But it has to do with the DM's work schedule, so.
Yeah. Well, the only game I'd gotten to play recently was a Traveler game, and I had to drop out because work got really shitty, and COVID, and I couldn't guarantee I was going to have the ability to play. But let's just say in the last 20 years, we'll say 20 years, I've very rarely gotten to play role-playing games. DM a bunch.
Have you ever played Blades in the Dark? Or heard of it?
I've not. Nope.
I've heard of it. I own it. I want to play it.
Same. So I'm playing in a variant that my friends wrote called Blades in the Wild, where we're playing in where we're dealing with like the Feywild. It's a fantasy base more than the like kind of steampunky ghost fueled world that is Blades in the Dark. But I think the mechanic that I love most about Blades in the Dark are the flashbacks. So you don't plan ahead, you plan backwards. You don't get all of your equipment before you go in. You'll be like, oh, I'm going to flash back to me storing stuff in this tree the night before. And
that's the opposite of the John. John is the planner. I plan ahead.
I know.
Planning backwards seems like cheating.
But it makes you think. It forces you to think differently, and it forces more role play, and I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, I mean you kind of got to think 4-dimensionally because now you have time as a thing. You can not just be like linear. You can actually fuck with it a little bit, so that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But no, yeah. So you got a lot of games going on. I know Gonzo's got a bunch. I've got an every other week Genesis. Where they're playing sort of basically Thundar the Barbarian, the role-playing game.
Nice.
We haven't gotten too much super tech in yet. We'll try to. I'm not sure how it's going to go. Genesis is a fine system, but it requires a lot of work because there's a lot of pre-made stuff right now.
Oh.
And then I do an every other Friday D&D with 4 people from my current job and not Brushhead Dave and the Jason who I used to work with and are my longtime friends and role players. And I have to say, 5th edition is not bad, but And this is gonna be. I'm gonna drop the bombshell here. 4th edition's way better as a fucking game master. Way better. Monsters do shit. They're not just I attack. It's exciting.
Clickety clackety, I roll attackety.
Well,
yeah, that's the reason why I like
descriptions and all when I can, but it's just like it's not bad, but also the monster tweakingness in 4th edition is a lot better. But there's nothing wrong with this is no dig on 5th edition. Like older editions were like that too. And as a player, I feel like 5th edition is probably better than 4th edition. There's not as much analysis paralysis and options to make you go, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. You know.
That's the reason why I like Destiny, or the RPG we're playing that has the monsters aren't just attack. They're, I get to use this ability and it does this cool stuff and everything.
I don't mind if the monsters attack. It's actually just a combination of the monsters attack and it's not set up to make encounters easily. Like, I go to the monster menu, I'm like, where is the list of monsters by fucking level so I can see what I can fucking murder my players with that's not overleveled? Oh, there is none? I have to look through the entire book? That's a fucking short-sighted thing. I don't have the system knowledge yet to know how much is too much to hit, how much is too much to damage, because, let's be honest, 5th edition, I like a lot of the stuff they did. There's some parts that are really good, but parts I'm like, oh, this is ill-advised. But it all comes to system mastery. Like you get me in there with a feng shui or a fucking, hero system, I don't even need to do prep. I can fucking do villains on the fly in my head.
Yeah.
This, I'm like, is this too much to hit? Is this too much damage? I don't actually fucking know. Because like second encounter, I dropped half the party. There were many failed death saves that for second encounter.
I almost TPK'd my party in the first session.
So
I was running Yawning
Two people
Portal.
rolled ones for death saves in the second encounter. I was like, oh, this is going to go poorly. Luckily, there was just enough healing to heal them up. So I'm like, okay, this is okay, I guess.
Yeah, I was running Yawning Portal, which houses the entrance to Undermountain. Yeah. So where does the party decide to go? Down the hole?
Idiots.
So I was just like, and you encounter a flock of dire geese. They're like, oh, that's not so bad. I'm like, okay, 5 of them have turns before you. They're like, okay. I'm like, they each have 5 heads, so they get 25 attacks before you get a chance. They're like, run!
All you have to say at that point was peace was never an option. Peace was never an option. Yeah, it's weird, Like, I don't dislike 5th edition, and I feel like if you play it enough, if you run it enough, it'll get better. But coming in, there's a lot of stuff they've done in previous editions, in 4th edition, which is when I ran the most, 4th and 3.5, that they don't have in 5th edition. It feels like an oversight. It feels like, well, yeah, we've made streamlines for players. Like, honestly, I had players who've never played before, and they're like, oh, I can level up. They read the book, and it was good. Cool, you can level up. That's awesome. Most of the time, changing a level in a game when you're a new player is fucking a problem.
I remember when I started learning Pathfinder 1st edition, and I was lost. I had to have, every time we leveled up, I had to have my DM help me with all the math.
Yeah. It's got to be your second campaign before you even remotely are good for leveling up in that. Yeah. Same with 4th edition, 3rd edition. Oh, I like that level up, but it puts so much more on the GM, and that's a problem. Because as a GM, I feel now more pressure on me to be more descriptive, like the Twitch and all that GMs, like the Matt Mercers and everything.
Mulligans and
yes. Yeah. You want to be more descriptive. You want to put that in there, and I'm okay at getting that in, but I don't have the system knowledge. Like, I fucking just make shit up on the fly.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you get advantage for that. Fucking, I don't care. Like one of my characters is an albatross because we're using the Animal Adventures. And she's like, I'm going to swoop down and fire a firebolt. Like, cool. You know what? You get advantage on that attack because they weren't expecting you to fucking dive bomb them. Kobolds are not known for their anti-air ability. So, I'll do stuff like that and all. And I love advantage and disadvantage. It's so quick and easy to use. It's not like, oh, how much of a penalty do you... No, fucking just disadvantage or advantage. It's great. Great function.
If you ever run your games
that helps a lot.
you ever run your games on Twitch, you could always add the chaos that I do. I have chat's ability to grant bless, guidance, or bardic inspiration for points. For bits, they can grant disadvantage or disadvantage to anyone, including me. And for gifted subs, they can add a Cards Against Humanity draw.
Okay.
I only do this in my one shots, but it's a lot of fun.
Let me tell you, I've only played 2 sessions of a game online ever. Every other game I've played have been in person or some old play-by-email, play-by-post stuff way, way back in the day.
Gotcha.
Like the 2 games I run are both in person.
I miss in-person games. I've been playing online for 4 years now, like just before the pandemic, and like
I feel like
I
technology
was
is
just
almost
getting into
there.
an in-person
We're
game, and the pandemic hit, and I was like, no.
like one step away from being what I would consider there, where you could, in my opinion, replace it enough for me to consider it as an option most of the time.
Yeah.
Like obviously, like I've actually had people invite me, like, "Hey, do you want to play this game with us?" I'm like, "I appreciate you asking, but don't have the time, and online's not really my thing."
Yeah.
Like my
It's a
MWO crew,
very
the
different
guys like,
beast.
yeah, it is. And like I said, I played the couple sessions, and I just felt like even if you use Discord, the voice thing is not good enough yet. It's like
People
it's
talk
almost
over
there.
each other. You don't get the body language of the characters.
Yep. And you'll know this very quickly. Gonzo and I know this. It takes a long time for people in a chat in a multi call to know when to hold them and when to fold them.
Yep.
You know, because I can tell when you're about to say something because I got a visual on you sometime, and I can like, oh, let's let nerd have her chance. You can't always get that, and I think that's the thing. If we get past that, if you'll get more used to it, that'll be the next level. It'll be a great level. I mean, because honestly, there's a lot of good things you can do online. You know, my cousin John was the game master of that game. He had maps and everything. I'm like, this is great. It's just the voice stuff is driving me fucking up the wall. And I have this thing where I go around the table every time there's a chance to act that's not initiative order. I look at him, it's like, hold on, go around the table clockwise every time.
Nice.
Just so everyone has a chance to do something. Say what you're gonna do. Boom, 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 boom. Cool. Let's do the things.
Cool. I like that.
Yeah, it works because people like just try to like, no, stop. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And it's great because sometimes they build off each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I see he's getting ready to do this thing. I'm going to do this thing to help. Cool, that's awesome. You know, that whole aid skill becomes way more useful if you see someone's about to make a skill roll.
Yeah. Now,
So,
do you use skill challenges when you run D&D?
I have not yet, but I'm not opposed to it. It was a part of 4th edition that I thought was underutilized, and the way it was explained seemed very arbitrary and caused a lot of negativity, but I love the idea of it.
Yeah, that's something that DMs that I've played with have incorporated into 5th edition games that they brought from 4th edition, and I love it. I've been trying to figure out how to incorporate it more into my games.
I'll be honest, call it social combat and skill challenges are the things that every single game out there needs to work on.
Yeah.
I feel like most of them, as soon as they become an actual role-playing game and in our hands, the combat's probably fine. Except for a couple, but probably fine. Yeah. But the other games, like you need a little structure to this stuff. You know, how do we do this? You can't just role play through it because not everyone is good at, you know, not everyone's as charismatic as their character. You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
My character's charisma 18. I am not charisma 18. I cannot be this charming as my character, or as intimidating. At some point, there has to be a role in there, and you need rules to help judge that. So one thing I like about Gonzo's Genesis is they actually theoretically have social combat as a fucking thing.
Yep.
So, just waiting for the perfect game, so to speak.
Well, that's a great segue into my next question. What is an RPG that you haven't played that you would love to play a game of or get into a campaign of?
Ooh.
That's not a fair question.
It could
I'd love
be
to
any
play
game for
anything.
John.
I still get to play. I still get.
Okay, what about your top 3?
So my number one is I want to play a superhero game. I've run
Okay.
superhero games for 20 fucking years, and I've not gotten to play in a very, very long time.
Okay. I've played
You know,
Masks, which is a lot of fun. It's a Powered by the Apocalypse game.
we do a lot of hero system champions. It's a
Okay.
great system. If as soon as you get knowledge of it, it's great. You can do anything you need to. I have Prowlers and Paragons that my buddy Mike Serbrook has helped
Another
work
good one.
on. It's sort of like Champions Light, but it's got a little more storytelling ability in it, which I like. But I just something.
There's a couple of games that I picked up recently. I wouldn't mind playing in a game of Die, like a one-shot in Die. But there is also, what was the other one that they did? There was another one they did that I thought was really interesting. I can't remember. I do want to play Blades in the Dark. I have a ton of RPGs. I'd like to play Blackbirds because it's
Okay,
like
I'm not familiar with that one.
it's off the Zweihander thing. I've got it and it looks really cool, but you got to have someone that really knows the rules on that one.
There's a lot of that. I'm waiting for Bowie to run Transformers. He's the Transformers guy locally. I'm putting it on him. He's got to run Transformers for us all.
I would love to find somebody to run the Dresden Files RPG.
I've played in that, and that is a very hard RPG to run because the system, if you use the, whatever the system is called, it's like the plus or minus system dice roll. I can't remember what it was called. It can be a challenge. I've played in that.
That's fair.
It's got a good book, though. I like a lot of things. The city building in that is super cool.
Yep. It was really good. I played a Fey Knight. I was a human that was attached to the Fey Court, and I was a Fey Knight.
Because I've been making my way through the Dresden Files book series, finally. And so I'm just like, I would love to play an RPG in that world.
I read 3, and then I was like, this is fine, but I'm sure it probably gets better, but after the third one, I'm like, it's a little derivative at this point, and I'm not really in anymore.
I've been doing the audiobooks.
Okay. Might be a little better then. It might cut out some stuff. That's some of the derivative stuff, but I don't have any animosity towards it. It's fine.
Yeah.
I actually find I run a lot more systems that are able to do multiple things, or I can shoehorn multiple things into it, like Champion/the hero system. I can do anything.
Fair.
Like anything at all. You want it, I can probably build it. I may or may not even need a computer or a pen and paper to do that. But that's because I've been playing it for a very long time. Other one I use is Feng Shui, which is made for its own world.
Thanks, Benny, on Fate system.
But I've used it for all sorts of things. We did fantasy in it because we wanted to do fantasy. You can do anything in it. You just need a little thought because it's a super simple system, and that goes a long way.
Okay.
Voidheart is Rowan. The people that made Die, they wrote Voidheart, and it is a superhero RPG, but it is very dark RPG.
That's not my thing.
Yeah, no, it definitely would not be something you would play.
But Dark Superheroes is very good for the occasional story, but as a setting is not superhero. Yeah. It's not my thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's like The Boys is too much for me, but watching Watchmen. Watchmen's dark. Mm-hmm. As a graphic novel or a movie, good job. It's a good deconstruction. I love it. But as a consistent thing, letting Zack Snyder fucking direct superhero movies is terrible.
Yeah. Another one that's always held my interest is the Scion RPG, where you start as a demigod, or no, you're a hero, then a demigod, and then a god.
Okay, I gotcha. It's Scion with an S, not a P, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, there is
I
actually own that one.
Played that I really, really want to play is Thirsty Sword Lesbians.
Yeah, a lot of people want to play that. I've heard good things.
It's great. It's supposed to be.
I've
really,
only heard
really
good things, or absolute terrible things from the people I don't care about their opinion of, and I know are that kind of person. So I'm like, that's just a reaffirmation that it's actually great, and you guys are trash.
Yes.
If you like Scion, Exalted is another one that fits that type of persona. And Exalted,
I would probably
the
play
new
Exalted
edition.
for Scion, but that's just because, like, no hatred really for the White Wolf guys, but I don't really play any of their games. Well, that's not true. I'll play Street Fighter. Someone's from Street Fighter. I'll play Street Fighter. I love Street Fighter. I have all the books. It was actually a pretty fun game to play.
There was
we
a
did
Street
a campaign
Fighter
back
RPG?
in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. It's over on my shelf.
See, I was only aware of Werewolf and Vampire.
It uses the
Mummy.
same sort of system as them, but the combat's a lot more map-based because you have movement and all that stuff like you would in a Street Fighter game. It was really cool.
Nice.
And you don't need the map. We played it Theater of the Mind. It was super fun. It's just an interesting game, you know. I don't have any hatred. I just feel like their system evolved from their first edition to later editions, and I haven't seen the most recent to be. They made some poor decisions, in my opinion, gameplay wise. When it becomes easier to fuck something up than actually succeed, you need to get the fuck out of here.
Fair.
You know, you're rolling d10s and ones or two failures. Like, fuck right off.
Yeah, there's a lot of the World of Darkness stuff. There was a lot of good ones in there. Mummy, Fae, or
honest.
Changeling.
World of Darkness and White Wolf was absolutely great because it fucking changed the entire RPG environment overnight. Because it became not just D&D and a handful of other things. This is a whole different thing in here. It was great.
Yeah.
Because, I was doing it at the time. We bought Vampire First Edition like, oh, this is interesting.
Changeling was their Fae, where you played Fae creatures that escaped.
Fae. Mage the Ascension was weird, but cool.
Yep.
Magic, but you can't be too obvious about it.
Yep. Mummy, then you had Hunters, where you could play Hunters that hunted people.
Street Fighter, that they licensed. They only made a couple books for it, but, I mean, it was my favorite of the group, which really shouldn't surprise anyone, given John.
I can't remember if I asked you this when you had me guest spot. What was the first RPG you ever played?
D&D.
Technically,
which edition?
Red Box.
Yeah, Red Box. Was it 80s?
But so technically, the first one I owned, someone had given me some. It wasn't the first one I played with other people. The first one I played with other people was a Palladium Books one called Heroes Unlimited, way back first edition of the day, and we played it very, very, very wrong. Very wrong. Eventually we figured it out, but very wrong.
My introduction to role-playing was completely paperless and diceless.
Oh.
I played Amber.
Mm-hmm. Amber was one of the best.
Okay.
Was one of the best paperless, diceless games out there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it was the only. It was very interesting. Me and my buddy James had a copy. We looked at it
like 6th grade.
we immediately discounted it because it was cool, but it was not what we were looking for. But like it does nowadays, we used to just buy role-playing games, read them, and put them on a shelf.
Yeah.
That shot's fired, by the way, Gonzo.
Yep. There ain't no
Speaking of which,
shots
when
at
I
all.
send you all that stuff for giveaways at Warfare Weekend, I'll put in the book for Stargate.
Okay.
Because I have absolutely no need for it. Like, Stargate is fine, but I'm not going to run a game on it.
Fair. Stargate would be fun, but I can see why that would be.
Yeah, the next on my list when we get done with Thundar, with using Genesis, is probably going to be G.I. Joe. So we can see that system in use, unless one of my crew decides to run something, which is fucking never going to happen, so why am I even worried about that? Anyways, we should probably start talking about media, because we are definitely going over.
That's okay. We're having a good time.
I blame Twitch. It's
Yeah.
Twitch's fault.
Which
Fucking everything.
we're back to normal now.
Me, the ADHD kid in the group.
Before we do that, let's go ahead and give our giveaway. We're gonna close entries. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Entries are closed. All right, we're gonna pick a winner. If more than Dice wins, I'll give it to Banyan.
Oh God. So I want to tell you, I have won the last 4 raffles I've been in on any streams.
That's ridiculous.
Literally, the 3 times in a row on another guy's stream, he does MWO streams. I only tune in once in a while because he's Australian and he does it weird times. But I come in and I'm like, oh, cool, he's going to give away. I'm watching him play MWO, and I just jump in and like, you won this. I'm like, you won this again. I'm like, how is this 3rd time? I'm like, what is going on? I just show up and win. Oh, that's funny. They give it to Banian.
Yeah.
I figured you were going to give it. I won.
Banian, I'll give you the code.
But I have an Elvira and a poodle.
That's awesome. I can't really show off mine because all those things I won were premium currency for MechWarrior Online. So
fair.
But it's still funny that I just come in and enjoy it and just win. I'm like, lol. I even mentioned, I'm like, hey, this is becoming a habit.
Now I think it's a conspiracy.
Conspiracy.
So, let me go on. I got a bunch of stuff, but let's go and switch over to I want to talk about something I watched this week. Guardians 3.
Not watched yet, was gonna, but ran out of time.
Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it because it just came out, and I know a lot of people are waiting for it to come out on Disney.
That's the only thing that I'm saying about it.
Yeah, there's 3 parts. There's one part that's like, oh shit, I'm so sad. This sucks. 1, happy cry, and then 2, happy cry that it's, done type thing. I think it was a little too long in my opinion. It was like 2.5 hours long. And I think you could have cut out some of this stuff. Overall, it was good though. It was fun. It was what I expected from a Guardians movie. They said that some people are going to come back for other things, but pretty much Guardians are done. I'm okay. Just leave it go. Let it go. You don't have to force anything.
All things have to come to an end.
Yeah.
All good things, as the episode says.
Yeah. It was good. It was fun. I would give it probably a 1, and the only reason 1, because I think it was just a little too long. I think they could have cut out some stuff, but there was some good heartfelt stuff. There were some good sad parts.
I know it's universally loved enough. People are like, is it the best trilogy in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? I'm like, well, Captain America exists, so fucking no.
It was really good. I enjoyed it. It made you cry where it wanted to make you cry, which I think is interesting because they're like, we want you to cry at this part. You're doing that.
Was fucking. It got me.
Yeah.
The end of 2 got me.
There's a couple of them that they pulled at the heartstrings on purpose, and they made you feel something. But I like when movies try to make you feel something, and you do feel something. Because if you try to make me feel emotions, and I don't feel the emotions, aka Secret Invasion, I don't give a crap.
Don't even get me started on Secret Invasion.
Look, that was why Infinity War lost me. They tried to make you feel something at a certain point. I'm like, you didn't earn. Like, it's fucking something to say this for a series that took so long to build up. You didn't fucking earn this part.
No.
It felt fucking contrived.
Yeah, it was not. So, but I mean, it was really good. I give it a 1. Plain out. Cool. I enjoyed it. I'll probably watch it again. I want to watch it again at the house. I'll probably watch it tomorrow. John?
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead with Secret Invasion.
Oh, I was going to say Secret Invasion. The big thing with that is I know they had to rework the ending because of the release schedule of movies and to have the tie-in so the ending feels super rushed without giving any plot away.
I mean, I watched the first episode and have not watched any since, so I
had a month off between the first episode and when I started watching the rest of it.
Yeah, I might get that because it's all out now, so I can just go watch 1 a day like I want to. But we'll see. Yeah. I got other things in the thing. I want to see Ben Mendelsohn and Samuel L. Jackson because those are great actors. They do a good job. I stated this to a couple buddies and may have said this here, is that it felt too much like the plot of Falcon and Winter Soldier, just with no sympathy for the fucking antagonists.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
It also does the one thing, and I'll state for the fact this is a John problem. it completely invalidates good points of earlier movies. One of the best parts of Captain Marvel was that the Skrulls weren't the bad guys. That twist was great. And then they go off to find a new planet. You're telling me in those years since that and this, they didn't find a planet, and now Skrulls are bad guys. You just fucking took the end of that great ending and shit all over it. Yeah. That's why I never watch Alien 3, because they shit on Alien 2. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I just pretend that Alien 3 doesn't exist.
Yeah, I do too. Anyways, I'll do out of order. I will state I tried to watch Transformers Rise of the Beast, but did not get more than 45 minutes into it. I was just like not feeling it, so I'll put it aside. I'll finish it later. But instead, it is the 30th anniversary of The Fugitive.
What?
So I watched The Fugitive. Yeah. Damn. If you go on Twitter, there's a big thread a guy did of like a bunch of notes from the movie, and it is shocking the movie got made. There's a funny note that, they were just doing what they could for it. Most of the dialogue was ad-libbed, especially Joe Pantalone and fucking Tommy Lee Jones. And Tommy Jones is like, don't worry about it, just have fun. No one's going to win an Oscar from this. And then he wins the Best Supporting Actor Oscar.
Yeah.
Well-deserved, because, I love Harrison Ford. He does a great job in this. Tommy Lee Jones is this movie.
Yeah.
Samuel Gerard, he holds it every time. Enough that they got the soft sequel called U.S. Marshals, and I would have seen more of those movies. Tommy Lee Jones and his crew is great. But this movie is great. Harrison Ford is good in it because it's a little out of type for him. It's sort of thriller mystery, and I just enjoy the crap out of it. It's got a bunch of twists, a bunch of things you expect are going to happen don't happen the way you think they are, and it just people overlook it. It doesn't get a lot of buzz anymore, but it's a good movie, and people should watch it. I'm going to give it half a space repeat. It is a fun watch. It's not one I'd rewatch more than maybe one a year because all the twists are coming, but it's still an enjoyable rewatch, especially for Samuel L. Jackson. He's almost chewing the scenery, but he's doing it in not that overacting way. He's just every scene he's the fucking focus because he's Tommy Lee Jones. And funny that he thought it was going to ruin his career. Instead, it fucking completely revitalized it. Yeah.
Really?
The background of this movie was it was a troubled production. No one thought it was going to be anything. It ends up being just fucking great. So, Nerd, what did you watch?
I rewatched something and I blame Mizzy.
Was it Ready Player One?
Yes, it was. My husband had never seen it. So he sits down halfway through the movie and is trying to figure out what the heck is going on. But he started picking up on... It was fun watching it with him because he picked up on so many characters that I couldn't recognize.
Oh, in the scene at the end? Holy moly, yeah, it's
Yeah,
everyone.
or just in background of any time that they're in the Oasis and you're seeing other pop culture characters. He's like, oh,
when he dressed up in the suit that Buckaroo Banzai wore in Buckaroo Banzai, I was like, fucking A, that is specifically a John moment. Because not a lot of people know Buckaroo Banzai. But I love Buckaroo Banzai.
Yeah, Buckaroo Banzai is fantastic in its own right. But I agree with Mizzy and to a degree, because they are very different entities in my mind, because the book is all about the 80s and Spielberg. Spielberg doesn't self-reference. So they had to sneak references into Spielberg movies into the movie and then completely tweak the storyline to not be so focused on Spielberg movies.
Yeah, I remember Captain Mizzy's response to the whole thing is much more like Gonzo. I think you both have problems. Sorry, Mizzy. They're different. You have to understand at some point these things are different. It's like the guys who are like, I can't watch Lord of the Rings because of the books. I'm like, you need help, sir. Or ma'am.
I was just talking to a friend this weekend and it was asking, I'm like, okay, I know you love Lord of the Rings, but how hardcore are you about Lord of the Rings? Because he hadn't watched Rings of Power yet.
Fair. Because that could end frothing at the mouth like, oh, that's not how it should be.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I was not expecting much from Ready Player One. I'm not going to read the book. Let's be honest. It's been too long. I got too many other things on my thing. It's not going to happen.
If you
The
want to read
movie's
his
fine.
other book, Armada, it's basically a retelling of Last Starfighter. But the audiobooks are read by Will Wheaton, so you can't go too wrong.
Fair. I'm just the thing. I don't listen to audiobooks. I read them, and like at a certain point, I'm just like, I'll just watch the movie. The movie's perfectly fine. In fact, in most cases, I read the book and I'm like, the book's good. I like the movie better.
Yeah.
It's the medium of your choice.
I'm really curious.
Further. It's okay.
Now that I've started rewatching Wheel of Time, to go and start reading start listening to the Wheel of Time books. I know there's a million of them.
Yeah.
But since I'm now running a low magic campaign and that's been a huge influence on it, I'm really curious to go read the books.
Like, so I can understand where Gonzo and Mizzy are coming from with that and all and everything, but it's like, I understand if like you watch the Dragonlance animated movie and then you go read the books, you're like, well, fuck this animated movie. Like, yes.
Wait, there's a Dragonlance animated movie?
Oh God, it's bad.
It's not that bad. It's fucking fine. It's fine. It's not great. It's fine.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like a book is way better. Yeah, but you know what? Guess what? I'm not at a point anymore where I can read the book in 2 hours.
Yeah. I'm curious about Ready Player 2, but like it completely bombed after its release because it was delayed because of the pandemic and stuff, and it just came out.
Some things I feel like the sequel is.
First one.
Well, you can do that as Maverick and Top Gun Maverick and all have shown, but you have to do it right. But you have to do it really right. Yeah.
I will see you in a decade. Thanks, Banian.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, what would you give Ready Player One?
I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. I give it 2 space RBs.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of better movies,
one and a
but
half.
It's visually stunning. I love the cast. And Ben Mendelsohn is a bad guy. Never fails to go wrong.
Look,
my introduction to him,
period, never goes wrong.
Yeah, my introduction to him was Rogue One.
Yeah.
And then Ready Player 2, Ready Player 1. And now Secret Invasion.
He's a good actor in all of it.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel, he's just a good actor. Like, that's why I want to see more of Secret Invasion, because I want to see the good actors.
Yes. And then as I was telling you guys when we first started, I just finished season 2 of Good Omens, and I was thankfully warned that the final episode was not the happy-go-lucky storyline that the rest of the series had been. The rest of the season had been. It wasn't as whimsical.
That's dangerous in the series.
I have a I watched it too. I finished it out, and I didn't think it was as good as season 1, but it did have some good parts. And with the way the climate is right now of the writer's strike and stuff, I think that may be our last season of Good Omens, honestly. And it's going to leave it on a very sour note.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's dangerous like that. So,
but I mean, it's okay. They're telling their story. They want to tell it, so I'm not worried about it.
No,
but
I mean, I'm just like,
dang. I want to see.
Thinking about anything. I love it when someone's focused on telling the story they want to tell, and they don't care about. We're gonna get another season. We're gonna get some people. We're just telling our fucking story, like it or not like it. Get the fuck out of here. We don't care.
So, yeah.
What do you give it?
I'd give it a 2 probably.
Yeah.
Versus first season having a 1.
Yeah, I agree with you. It wasn't as good. Yeah, writing wasn't as good. Story wasn't as good, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Better than a poke in the eye with a stick.
I love John Hamm and everything that he does, especially if he's doing a comedic role.
Yeah, his comedic timing is very good.
Yes.
Gonzo, you got a quick one?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, because we only got a couple of minutes left. I watched season 3 of The Dragon Prince. Um,
Yes.
and so I wanted to reiterate that season 2 was not that great. The last season was just okay. This season was very good. It took it back to the roots of being silly and quirky at times, of not taking itself serious, doing fun things. Um, it's got a lot going for it, and I'm really, really glad that they're going to be able to finish the series out, hopefully, because they've already been funded for the entire series.
just ready strike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got that issue going on, but I hope that they get to, because they, it's such a good story. And I have the RPG. I even actually have the board game of Dragon Prince. Yeah, there's a board game. And there's an RPG too. And I really like it.
I knew about the RPG. I didn't know about the board game, but I don't
Yeah, it
think
comes with
anybody
miniatures too.
else would play that with me because none of my friends have watched it.
Yeah, and it's got miniatures with it too. So, and I had them professionally painted by a friend of mine.
I want Bait the Glow Toad.
Yeah, it's there. It's there.
I may or may not have incorporated glow toads into one of my homebrew campaigns just because of that show.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it is really, really good and really, really fun. I really enjoy the series. I can't wait to even more. Hey, and look, yes, there is, and look who's on the top of them.
That's my boy. Okay, I just went full squee.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah, I really like this series.
I love side characters that don't talk. They tend to be the most expressive and the ones that I identify with the most. Like Fish Up
So
Water
you-
and Chicken Little.
So you love Hey.
Yeah, Hey's my boy.
You will enjoy this season, especially if you like Bait, because Bait is even better in this one. And something else comes happen with Bait.
Season 3 yet, but I've heard nothing but good things.
Yeah, go ahead and start watching season 3, and then we can talk. You can talk to me about it. Type thing. It was really good. We need more animation like this, because the animation has actually stepped up even further this time too. They stepped up the version a little bit more, so it's been pretty good. I really enjoyed it. I want more. I'm waiting for the new, because I mean it goes along the lines of The Last Airbender, and we're getting more of that pretty soon. And so I just want some good fun TV.
Yeah.
I like
the whole reason I have moon elves and sun elves in my new campaign.
Yeah, I mean don't get me wrong, I like a good dark story and stuff, but I don't want a dark reality story. So I like good reality stories, aka Ted Lasso. So I really enjoy this series. So
speaking of animated Netflix series, have you ever watched Kipo and the Age of the Wonder Beast?
all of it, and it is a fucking amazing series.
That's like watching a graphic novel.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's
The
so
bees,
good.
the bees are my favorite part. I love the bees.
Hands down.
Yeah, the bees are awesome. Kipo is amazing. It's a good fun series. Great art.
That's why I have megafauna in my current campaign. I was watching that at the time I was writing this campaign.
Yeah, and I really liked Kipo because it was unique. It was a very unique take and a very unique story.
Yes.
Type thing, and I'm glad it got an ending to it also.
Yes.
Hey, it's 8:30.
Yeah.
Banyan said, "What elves?" That's moon and sun elves.
I will fucking murder you, Banyan. I will fucking murder you. I know where you're going. It's to hell after I kill you.
I'm missing something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's a long story. I'll tell
Yes,
you at some
Mizzy,
point.
Kipo is life.
Yeah.
And the soundtrack is just as good.
Oh yeah, the soundtrack's amazing. Guys, we're going to send you off to the painting dad. Since you're going to watch me paint, you can watch him paint. He's going to be painting some Warhammer stuff. We're going to send you off to him and everything. We apologize, of course, for the video streaming issues. We have no clue what it is. It cleared up finally. It's a little bit laggy, but it did clear up. Guys, we really appreciate y'all. Y'all don't know how much this is our good Sunday night where we get to have fun and get to do things. and to hang out with everybody and talk about cool stuff. We want to make sure welcome Nerd to the team. We're glad she's here. We will be releasing a new episode of Pass the Paint Water. And hey, if we can get 2 other people to pick up Baldur's Gate 3, we might do a Pass the Paint Water Baldur's Gate 3 episode and do that too.
Captain Izzy has not picked one up yet. Okay.
Yeah.
So, please take care of yourself. Please take care of others. If you see something, say something. If you can do something, do something. If you hear something, do something also. Just be safe out there, guys, and stay hydrated.
Yes. Don't forget to love each other.
For More Than Dice, I'm Gonzo.
I'm John.
I'm Nerd.
Good night.
Good